This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for November 20th, 2025. 2026 looks like it's going to mark the return of Typo Negative in a way. The band saying that they got their hands on a live recording of an old concert. Drummer Johnny Kelly saying, I just got a mix of one of the songs just 2 or 3 weeks ago to approve it. It was mixed and mastered, and we're going to go and put it out on a label. I think it's coming out on Nuclear Blast. Kenny Hickey, the guitarist from Typo Negative, also talked about the possibility of a Peter Steele tribute show, saying it's not nearly as close as the media is making it out to be, saying, quote, honestly, I really don't know, because what's happening now is that people are starting to approach us saying, hey, have you thought about doing something? Now may be a good time to do it. It's been 15 years. It's time, he said. Ozzy Osbourne's oldest son, Louis, has spoken about the awe-inspiring scale of his father's funeral. The 50-year-old made a rare appearance as a guest on Jack Osbourne's podcast, Trying Not to Die, speaking candidly about the Black Sabbath icon's cultural impact and the overwhelming outpouring of love that followed his death. Saying, quote, I knew people loved him, but I didn't have a sense of how many and how much. I've never got my head around the fact of just how much of a cultural impact he had and how culturally important he was. He went on to say, I'm not saying he was ready to go, but I think definitely that he knew his time was coming from the conversations we had. And to some degree, I think he was kind of at peace with that because he had been in so much pain for so long. And speaking of Ozzy, an obscure track that initially wasn't meant for public consumption features Ozzy Osbourne and Madonna. The song is a remix of the song Shake Your Head by Was Not Was that was featured with actress Kim Basinger's vocals instead of Madonna's contribution. Louis Osbourne also commented on the rumor that the song was supposed to feature Madonna, saying, quote, Was did a duet with Madonna. It was written for Madonna and Was, and it was when Dad was pumping in the early 80s, and so was she, and she really fucking popped and then didn't give approval for the record. So that was canned, and then Kim Basinger was having that big acting moment in the middle of her career in the 80s, and they decided they were going to try and make her a pop star, so they tracked Kim Basinger on it instead. The Madonna Ozzy version did end up making it onto a vinyl version of a compilation of Now Dance 92. It was believed that the remixer Steve Silk Hurley was accidentally provided Madonna's vocals for the compilation, but producer Don Was explained to Rolling Stone that the band knowingly sent him her original vocal track along with Ozzy's. The UK government has confirmed that it will introduce laws that ban the selling of secondary concert and event tickets for profit. After a consultation period, the country's Labour-led government has revealed the bold move, which goes further than previously anticipated. It was thought the rules would cap any secondary sales profits at 30%, but the government has now announced secondary tickets will not be allowed to be sold for more than face value. They went on to say people will obviously be able to resell their tickets, but not for any more than the price they paid for it. They'll have to sell it at face value. You do get lots of people who later find out they can't go to a gig or a sporting event, and we want to make sure that they can still sell their ticket. Suicidal Tendencies drummer and former member of Slipknot, Jay Weinberg, has unveiled his new self-titled solo project that he first indicated back in December of 2024. Jay Weinberg saying it's the first song I've ever released under my own name, and it's the first song in a series of collaborations, an EP that's in various stages of completion, but I'm hoping to have it out in the early part of 2026. After the single Sepsis was released from Lamb of God last month, the band has announced a new single is coming out this Friday. Titled Parasocial Christ, the new track will be their second piece of new music for 2025. The band still has not announced if there's an album coming or if they're just releasing singles, but the band is set to go out on the road with 2 stops in New England, April 25th at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut and April 26th at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway in Boston. Tickets for both of those shows go on sale tomorrow. Steve Vai has commented on Whitesnake lead vocalist David Coverdale's announcement that he was hanging up his, quote, platform shoes and skin-tight jeans following his legendary 50-plus year career that got him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Deep Purple. Steve Vai saying, "I want to take a moment and congratulate Father Snake himself, David Coverdale, on 60 years of delivering pure, royal-grade rock and roll brilliance. David has shaken the earth for over half a century with a voice that could level a mountain. With impeccable instincts for song, melody, swagger, and attitude, his music always gave the rest of us something to feel gloriously cool about. I was lucky enough to tour and record with Whitesnake in 1989 and 1990, along with Adrian Vandenberg, Rudy Sarzo, and Tommy Aldridge. That band was absolutely smoking, and sharing the stage with that kind of power was one of the true highlights of my career. And on every level, on one of those 119 shows on the Slip of the Tongue tour, David took the stage and delivered like a boss. Never complained, always a gentleman, always performing like the house was on fire. It was a magical time in the music business, and I'm endlessly appreciative for that Whitesnake experience." Monster Magnet has announced a new vinyl box set featuring the band's first 4 albums. The set will include reissues of 1993's Sugar Judge, 95's Dopes to Infinity, 98's Power Trip, and 2000's God Says No. Each album will take up 2 LPs, each on black vinyl. The whole set will be available April 10th. The box set is available for pre-order online. And bad news for Audioslave fans. Tom Morello says the surviving members are, quote, no closer to releasing their unheard material. Made up of Soundgarden's Chris Cornell, along with the band members from Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello, Tim Comerford, and Brad Wilk, Audioslave was the biggest supergroup in the early 2000s. Despite the quality of the work the band put in, Tom Morello says there are still no plans for any of the tracks in the vault to be released. It's not for lack of anything other than we just don't have it together, he said. There's no plans not to put it out. I would love for it to get in the world, and hopefully it will one day. The surviving members of Soundgarden are discussing the album they've been working on, featuring previously unreleased recordings made by late frontman Chris Cornell before his 2017 death. Drummer Matt Cameron said, "I'm really excited for people to hear it, have our fans hear it. It's fun for us to be working on it, and sometimes listening to it, it's overpowering. But I'm super proud of the music that we did put out together, and we're pretty close to finishing it. And yeah, it's nice having Terry on board with us, for sure." Fresh off of his trio of Grammy nominations, Youngblood is gearing up for the release of One More Time, the EP with Aerosmith, which comes out tomorrow. Joe Perry saying, "I'm really looking forward to this. All the songs are inspired by him working with us, and us inspired by working with him. I hear a lot of music, and there's a lot of great guitar players and bands out there, but Youngblood really had the stuff. So we thought we'd throw our lot in. The first single worked out, so we'll see how it goes." And Cheap Trick returned to the iconic Budokan in Tokyo, Japan on October 1st of 2025. An 8.5-minute short film captures the beautiful bond shared by Cheap Trick and the country of Japan and the band's incredible Japanese fans. The short film was produced by Silent Trade for BMG and Cheap Trick and was directed by Nick Dwyer. Earlier this week, Cheap Trick announced 2 shows in Las Vegas where the group will play, quote, at Budokan, the 1978 album captured at Nippon Budokan in Tokyo in its entirety, along with Cheap Trick's other hits. Cheap Trick at Budokan live in Las Vegas will take place April 17th and 18th at the Venetian Theater inside the Venetian Resort, Las Vegas. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. And that's your sit rep. For more details on all the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 285, featuring Corey Bolio from Trivium, is available now.